Coming up after this break, the moment that I've been waiting for, and I hope you have too, the Everlys brothers, so make sure you're with us. Hello again. Our next guests are two of the greatest legends of rock and roll music ever. The popularity of the Everlys brothers is such that their career survived a 10-year split, which could have wrecked lesser mortals. But Phil and Don Everly are back in Britain this week for a sell-out UK tour and to promote their new album, Some Hearts. And we're very lucky for them to have joined us this morning. So good morning, both of you.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure. It's our pleasure.
It's good to have you back in Britain. And I must say, we were very proud that when you staged your reunion concert, you chose to stage it in Britain at the Royal Albert Hall in London. And do you feel that you have special links with Britain?
Well, we had played the Royal Albert before with our father, and Dad got a standing ovation there in the middle of the show, and it's like something you could never duplicate and never forget. It was just a wonderful moment. So we only had two choices, either there or at the Carnegie, and
we both really decided, I think, basically we wanted Albert Hall. I mean, it's a wonderful venue. I mean,
most beautiful place.
It's a beautiful place, and the English have been awfully kind to us over the years, and it was also, you know, nice to get away and come over here and do it. It was wonderful, actually.
Well, we were
it worked out well.
We were pleased. In fact, Mike's got a little story to tell about...
Well,
shall I tell it for you,
well,
Mike?
no, I certainly remember you two boys. You nearly ruined me. I was so mesmerised by your concert. I was watching it at home that a sneak thief came in and nicked my wallet from the kitchen.
While you were there,
that's a compliment to your concert.
We'll make it up to you, will you?
That's too bad.
You're back in Britain to tour. You start Glasgow tomorrow night.
Yes.
And you've got 19 dates in the next 26 days. Is touring really important to you, and rather than just recording?
Well, I like to travel, and I would feel amiss if we didn't come to England every now and again and tour. I mean, I've been doing it for so long, and it's a part of our life.
You mustn't forget Scotland, of course. You're starting there tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, yeah, Great Britain. It's just part of our life. I think if a bit of time goes by and I don't really get over here, I really feel kind of something's missing from my life.
How about in the actual performing, though, Phil? I mean, as well as enjoying the travelling, is performing important to you?
The performing is all of it. In fact, I'd like to do without the traveling and just do the performing.
Phil said we're the travelers.
But we're cutting down, actually. We do less each year, and but we wanted to do at least one more grand tour, you know, of the entire country. And but I love the singing. There's nothing like the magic moments that sometimes happen, you know.
You boys are slackening a bit. You've got 5 days off here in your itinerary that I've got in front of me here. No, 4 days off.
Yeah, I can find things to do.
And you're starting off. Is it it's total sellout? Is it?
Well, I haven't really checked anything out, actually.
But you're starting in Glasgow, then you go to Aberdeen and Edinburgh, so that's the Scottish bit.
Well, I'm sure they can always squeeze a ticket or two out of it still.
Do you wear kilts? Will you wear kilts for Scotland?
Tuxedos, like we always do.
The first time I went to Scotland, though, I bought the entire outfit and wore the kilt for...
and you got stoned. You got pelted.
The band made me quit, you know.
We can't find any Scottish ancestry a long way back in the Everly line.
No, we haven't proved any of that yet.
Everlys, there's just not very many Everlys.
I'm sure there's a McEverly.
I'm sure that's a very uncommon name. We haven't really ever been able to quite trace it, because I think our family had been in Kentucky so long, they forgot where they came from.
We forget where we come from sometimes. Great to meet you two fellas.
Nice
More chat a bit later. Let's hope
Sorry about your wallet.
Well, I'm sorry. For once it contained money. Let's get the weather now from Ulrika Johnson. We've really got an amazing musical bill coming up for you in the next half hour. Don and Phil Everly will tell us why they're not going to be wearing kilts in Scotland.
We also hear from Opera Suprema Placido Domingo about the price of pleasure. And from the world of rock and pop, we talk more to the inimitable Cyndi Lauper.
Let's say hello again to Don and Phil Everly. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
Just check you out. Do you believe in the stars, the astrology?
I think it's very interesting, you know.
I believe if it's real good, you know.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I got to like mine today sounded good. So.
Was there ever any danger that you guys were not going to be singers? Did you want to be a professional footballer? Or
no, ever since our father was a musician, and that's all I could ever remember is him playing his guitar and working. Ike Everly, working in clubs, and he worked with his brothers actually. So we're basically second generation singers. He worked with his two brothers. There was a trio for a while. But that's all I ever wanted to do. But that's all I ever knew, actually.
Didn't I say, you know, whatever you do, boys, stay off the stage? Didn't he ever say that?
No, we joined him on radio when I was 8.
Yeah,
Bill was 6.
Our mother, too. We had a family show.
We had a family show. We were the Everly family
was.
for years.
Yeah. It's funny how it works out. Often, it's particularly true of, say, Cyndi Lauper, who's with us today. The Jacksons as well. There's a kind of magic that you guys feel when you first get applause or attention, or it's a buzz, isn't it?
Well, it is. It's the radio was where we started, and that was that invisible audience, as you know, the cameras and the microphones, and that was you never knew who they were. And when you finally come to the stage, it's rewarding. It really is.
Of all the songs you've done, Crying in the Rain, Cathy's Clown, which we heard, by the way, earlier on in the week by Reba McEntire on this programme.
Good version.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I saw that show.
Do you approve of that?
Yes, I think it's
very
wonderful.
much, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
She's a great singer.
She really is.
Yeah.
But of all the songs, Walk Right Back's one of your top 10, isn't it?
Yes.
Has to be. Should we have a quick look and remind ourselves of
Great.
Okay.
Phil and Don, in tuneful harmony as ever, Walk Right Back.
Let's go, go back.
I want you to tell me why you walk out on me. I'm so lonesome every day. I want you to know that since you walk out on me, nothing seems to be the same old way. About the love that burns within my heart for you, the good times we had before you went away. Oh, me, walk right back to me this minute, bring your love to me, don't send it. I'm so lonesome every day.
Well, hello, Don. We're looking, actually, we're looking, aren't we?
I was trying to figure out where it was.
Now, this is interesting.
I don't know.
Good Morning Britain viewers are so quick on the ball. Why don't we ask them? We were trying to figure out, weren't we, where that was. You thought it might have been
It
England.
might be here in England. I don't recognize it.
Well, I don't either, for real, but I think I could lie here.
Yeah.
But it looks like the Tennessee Ernie Ford show out of America. It looks like to me.
Did you work out which year you thought it was?
About 1960.
1960, yeah, a few years ago. So things have changed a bit since then.
Yeah,
haven't you? You were saying, Don, you think you actually sound better now.
Well, we seem awful young.
You sound
to me,
pretty good there,
it's like looking back at your childhood in a way. I think that we sing like men now.
Have the years between then and now put a, I mean, obviously, I mean, there's maturity in your voices, but in the way that you write as well.
Oh,
these
yes.
sort of things.
I think as you get older, you know, like, it's one thing to sing the blues at 20, it's another to sing it at 40, and it's really something to sing it at 50, I can tell you.
I think life's experiences is what you write about and sing about, and you sing from that. And as you gain that experience in life, it puts a patina to it, so to speak, and you hopefully mature gracefully. And rock and roll's no different than anything else that you do. You should get better at it as you do it.
The essence of what you two do is, after all, harmony. But when you look back, you've had highs and lows. What were the worst of the lows that you had? We're talking about the highs, but what were the worst of the lows that you had?
Well, occasionally you would feel that maybe, you know, that you weren't in anymore. You know, you'd have that feeling that if you weren't in the top 10, you weren't real anymore.
How badly does that hit you?
Huh?
How badly does that
Well,
feeling hit you?
I think maybe in the beginning when you're used to it, you know, all of a sudden you're not #1 anymore. I mean, but nobody stays #1 forever anyway. I mean, and you learn to be happy with within yourself and not so much with the charts. The charts really you can't live by them.
It usually hits the people around you harder, too. There's people that are...
Oh, you're not #1 any longer.
They get the first fear look in their eyes, but we always hit each other. We'd always figure, well, we'll do something.
Yeah.
Eventually, tomorrow, we'll find the right thing to do, you know.
It's funny, because wherever you go, even if you were as happy as you'd ever been, if you're out of the limelight, I guess what happens to you is people come and say, what are you guys doing now? Why aren't you on the...
Yeah,
so it perpetuates itself.
But then again, just the opposite will say, I just got your new record, I love your song, and give you the lyrics that you've just written last year. And it makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, it does.
And when you tour, I bet you get that great feeling, don't you, when you come out with the classics like Cathy's Clown and Crying in the Rain, they clap within the first...
Well, I think we were fortunate.
Yes,
we wrote some of the songs, but we had some good songwriters that gave us songs, and Sonny Curtis wrote "Walk Right Back." It's a wonderful song.
Well, and nowadays, though, as well, the same. I mean, you've recorded with the Beach Boys, haven't you? In fact, your latest single, the Beach Brothers, I think.
Yeah. we call it the Beach Brothers.
Oh, great to meet you. We'll more chat
Nice
after this break. Well, first, we'll have to take a very quick break.
Three brilliant voices sitting on our sofa as well today. The Everly Brothers and also Cyndi Lauper. Hello again, Cyndi. Now, opera, do you like opera?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been trained through opera, an operatic style. And of course, my grandmother would have liked me to sing opera.
Grandmothers always would.
Yeah.
Is that partly where you get your amazing range, though? Because you have a 4-octave voice, don't you?
Well, on good days. I actually learned, I studied vocal therapy, which was developed through a teacher who taught opera. And what it is basically is, you know, the opera singers, they matrix their songs, which means they exercise through a song, so that when it finally when they get to the song, all the notes are worked into their muscles, and then they can sing it with ease. For me, I had to learn, you know, how to sing where people had these 200-watt Marshalls. I mean, I know you guys, you know, and you know, you got a little box that's got like a 50-inch, you know, I forgot what it's called. It's a different hat. You know, it's not powered by much. You know, 50-watt driver for a horn, you know, and a little 12-inch speaker, and it's not driven by as much as the amplifiers, and your voice changes when it goes through a microphone. So there was electronic singing to learn, and then the first 3 nights I'd have a great range. After that,
No, it's not actually as simple as just getting up on stage and singing, is it? Because on your voice, as well as having the range, it has a variety in it. I mean, you can be soft and gravelly, or I mean,
it gives me
and then
freedom.
really punch it out.
Yeah, it gives me freedom. I could do all that stuff and still maintain my voice.
But
which is
at
good.
one time, you lost that voice, didn't you?
Yeah, that's why I learned. Yeah.
And that was just through stress or through singing in sort of smoky halls? Or?
Singing like this, you know, with everybody saying, "Hey, kid, listen to me. Have a shot of Southern Comfort. Joplin did this, kid. This is what Joplin did." And I used to say, "But Joplin's dead." You know, and they'd be like, "Nah, I'm telling you, you don't know what you're talking about. You can't train your voice. You'll ruin it." You know, so I listened, and then I fell flat on my face, and you know, and of course you go to the doctors, and they tell you, "Miss Lauper, you must not sing this rock and roll. You know, this is bad for you." You know, so I was like, you know, you always walk out of the doctor's office like, this is the end of my life, you know, because there was nothing else for me. So, you know, I hired a girl to take my place, and she kept her range. So I said, you know, what do you do? And she recommended that I go see her teacher, which was the only woman that I met who would teach rockers. Now, I used to come in. They used to say, well, sing a song for me. So I'd sing, you know, a Led Zeppelin song, and then I'd sing like a smooth song, and then he'd say to me, well, kid, come back when you stop singing rock music, you know.
So you sorted the voice out, and that obviously, I mean, for a singer, that's vitally important, but also image. How important has your image been to your success, do you think?
Oh, well, I know it's helped me a lot, but I get into that stuff. I mean, of course, I studied all the original rockers, and I studied your music and your look and well, a lot of stuff comes from your work. Not just me, but I mean, the people that I studied sounded a lot like you, you know. So, but the image, you know, like the suits that you wore, or the haircuts and things like that, in some of the earlier bands, you know, I had...
Cyndi,
There's your mirror image. Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't. That wasn't your look, guys. No, I knew you weren't going in for that yellow and blue lips look.
I like that look, guys.
So it could look good on you, though. I mean, you know,
That underkilt might look quite
that
good.
was a stunning look. But see, in that time period, that was when people were saying, you know, I think I started doing that because I had done a photo shoot, and I said, well, gee, can you lift it up a little so it's more radical? And then she said to me, no, I think that's really corny. So, you know, she was kind of obnoxious. So I figured, well, if it got up her nose, just think of all the people I can irritate. So then I started doing this, and then it became a whole anti-fashion thing. And when anti-fashion became fashion, it was, well, that idea was to take something, well, that's an antique dress, but to
Which you used
make
to
it
sell,
like,
of course.
yeah, make it like high trash. You know what I mean?
Trash.
Well, no, like
Cindy, I'm glad you
something
said
old
that.
and no, it's something old and classy next to like peeling walls, old mirrors, and things like that. You know, I just thought it was, you know, that artsy stuff.
I wouldn't mind a copy of that photo.
Calm down, Phil.
I think our style became, we had different shirts, different ties, different jackets, and they got tired of calling each other, what are you going to wear tonight? So now it's basic black tuxedo and a black tie.
Yes, it's easy to have
It's really easy. I know what he's going to wear every
Actually,
time.
we went down to Nudies in California because we thought we might change things, you know, this year.
Nudies?
We know Nudies from when we were kids, you know, like a Western
Used to make a-
costume.
Western, I wasn't sure if it was an adult
Make
show.
clothes for Hank Williams. Used to make clothes for Hank Williams.
And
like
we
that.
tried on a gold lampade coat, and we got to laughing. He said you couldn't sing without laughing.
I said I couldn't sing in
this.
this suit.
I thought we thought you were two outnaturists or something. Nudies.
Nudies is
It's a
yeah,
store.
made all the cowboys things that you see, all that the glit and
He made
glitter that
he
you
was the
the
first
Western
glitter
wear.
cowboy suit. He made the suits that Hank Williams wore and Lefty Frizzell and all the great Grand Ole Opry stars back
And the other people y'all
in the 50s.
Good old Opry. Actually, Cindy was talking about the problems that she at one stage had with her voice. Have you ever had not just so much the voice, but a night? Do you have nights when you know, right, this isn't a good night? This is not going well, I don't feel right. Do you ever get that?
That happens.
But it happens because there's two of us, too, you know. You might have a good night, and I'll have a
We
bad
can
one,
cover
you
each
know?
other
I
sometimes.
was going to say,
It's
does that
really
make
good.
it easier?
Makes it
That
easier.
one of you helps the other.
Yeah, it probably does. It keeps the audience
Our
from knowing
training,
this guy's made.
we started off in show business, we were singing from flatbed trucks with no monitors. And so we never, I mean, monitors were such a pleasure to when all of a sudden, I never heard of them. You know, so you have monitors and things, and it made life so much easier. And it seemed to have gotten really easy the last few years.
Yeah. We should
it's a
actually check
pleasure.
out with Cindy, because, I mean, I got, I don't know, 8 Everly Brothers things in my record covers. Did you listen to these guys? And do you?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're classic records. Some of
Yeah,
them,
Let
aren't
It Be Me. I taught that to this kid who, my co-producer, I co-produce a lot, and this guy, Lenny Pizzi, who signed me, was remarried, I told you before, and they wanted to walk down the aisle to that song, and the daughter played it on her piano. She was just a little kid, but, I mean, they used to listen to your stuff.
That's one of my
all the
favorite
time.
songs.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous
It's a beautiful song.
You guys did some gorgeous work. Really
you?
gorgeous.
Would you think, Cindy, that we always think of Kathy's Clown as the classic of your... do you feel that? Kathy's Clown has to be one of the greats, doesn't it?
Well, I know, but see, I don't know.
I don't know if she remembers it. She's too young.
No, I loved Walk Right Out with...
Walk Right Back, which you just seen.
The one that I just saw, I liked. And, you know, I've been writing with Billy Steinberg and Tom Kelly, and they're, like, huge, huge, huge fans of yours. In fact, for a while on their answering machine, they would sing one of your songs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they just... I mean, a lot of people love you. I don't know if you
Well,
realize
I'm
that.
glad some friends of yours actually exposed us to you.
No, I'm not saying that. I mean, I came up when I said, oh, gee, you guys are really,
I
you know.
enjoy your music a lot. I love the movies you've done, and the videos.
Well,
Wonderful.
you
I love the way you
one
dress,
of the only
too.
guys that...
No, I do. I really like
But
it.
Cindy, I mean, you talk about guys like you are very, in a way, you've created an anthem for a lot of women with your Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I mean, that really...
That's wonderful.
It says something to a lot of people.
It really is.
Well, yeah, it's a mark spot, too. You know, there are some records mark things, you know, and I think that's a mark spot in which things go on from, new attitudes start from songs.
That's right. Were you surprised by the success of that, Cindy? Can you predict the success when you do something, or...?
No.
Difficult to tell,
I mean,
isn't
I gotta admit, when I was doing Girls Just Want to Have Fun, at first, the kind of song it wasn't like what I was singing. In fact, when I first heard it, I listened to it and I walked out of the club and I said, hey, I ain't singing that song. That's the chauvinist song. I ain't singing that song. And then the producer came up to me and said, listen to me, but think of what it could be, and then work from there. And so, okay. So we worked on the song, It took many different shapes, and then all of a sudden, it was what it was, you know? Because these guys I worked with were really into reggae, you know? And I liked that 60s thing. And I asked them to play different things, and I sang a different thing to the chords of that song, and it just happened. But we didn't know if it was going to happen.
I love that song. I love that. So time is it time after time?
Oh, you
That's
like
Time After Time.
I love that one.
That's my favorite.
Which incidentally
so
has
good.
been recorded, and I got it home, by the great Miles Davis, which is a tremendous tribute to you, Cyndi.
That's beautiful.
Not that you need tributes.
Yeah.
It's one of those times when, you know, we really don't want to say goodbye. Sadly, we got to. Other programmes jostling in the queue behind us. But Cyndi, good luck in
Thank
the future.
you. Thank
And,
you. You guys
Best of luck
have
to A Night to Remember in your
Thank you.
album too.
Yeah, and Some Hearts we got here as well. Don't Worry Baby. Beach Brothers. Good luck with the tour as well.
Thank you so much.
Good to meet you, Don and Phil.
Good to meet
Nice
all
to
of
meet
you.
you.